What would you do if you returned home after years abroad to find your family's legacy turned into someone else's empire? For Elias Carter, this wasn't a hypothetical. The rolling hills of Willow Creek, where his family had farmed for generations, were his sanctuary. He'd left 5 years ago to care for his dying sister in another state, entrusting the land to a caretaker. But when he stepped off the bus that crisp autumn evening, his heart sank. Where golden wheat once swayed, a gleaming hotel loomed a soulless monument of glass and steel. The HOA, those self-appointed guardians of progress, had taken his land. They thought they'd won. They didn't know Elias had a plan. The farm was more than dirt and crops. It was his father's laughter, his mother's calloused hands, and the stories etched into every fence post. Elias had poured his youth into those fields, learning resilience from the stubborn soil. When he left, he'd made sure the land was protected, or so he thought. The caretaker, Old Man Jenkins, had sworn to keep it safe. But Jenkins had passed away, and the HOA sniffing opportunity had pounced. They'd bullied their way through loopholes, claiming the land was abandoned. Permits were greased, construction rushed, and the hotel rose in months. Elias's home was gone. Or was it? He stood on the hill, the hotel's neon sign flickering below like a taunt. His weathered face hid a fire. Elias wasn't just a farmer. He was a man who'd spent years studying law in night school, dreaming of justice for small folks like him. Before leaving, he'd filed a little-known covenant with the county, a legal trap buried in fine print. The land could never be repurposed without his consent, and any violation would trigger a reversion clause. The HOA hadn't checked the records. They'd built their castle on a fault line. Elias's first move was quiet. He rented a room at the hotel, blending in as a curious traveler. The staff, polished and oblivious, boasted about the HOA's vision. He listened, noting names and faces, his calm demeanor masking the storm inside. At night, he pored over documents in his room, piecing together the HOA's overreach. That's when he met Lila, a young maid who'd grown up in Willow Creek. She wasn't part of the HOA's clique. She was a local, her eyes heavy with guilt. "I tried to tell them," she whispered one evening, slipping him a folder of internal memos. "They ignored us. They said the land was free for the taking." Lila's defiance was the twist Elias hadn't expected, a spark of hope from a stranger who shared his love for the town. With Lila's evidence, Elias built his case. The memos revealed the HOA's deliberate sidestepping of regulations, their bribes to local officials, and their dismissal of community protests. Lila's courage gave Elias the final piece. A recorded conversation where the HOA president laughed about steamrolling the Hicks farm. Elias felt a pang of gratitude for this unexpected ally, a reminder that he wasn't alone in his fight for what was right. The courtroom was packed when Elias presented his case. The HOA's lawyers, smug in their tailored suits, underestimated the simple farmer. Elias, steady and unyielding, laid out the covenant, the memos, and the recording. Gasps rippled through the room as the judge's gavel fell. The hotel was deemed illegal, the land reverted to Elias, and the HOA faced crippling fines. The crowd erupted, locals cheering for a man who'd outsmarted the powerful. Elias didn't gloat. He walked back to his hill, the hotel, now a hollow shell awaiting demolition. Lila joined him, her smile shy but proud. "You gave us our town back," she said. Elias shook his head. "We did. This land belongs to all of us." As the sun dipped low, he saw his parents' faces in the fields, their legacy intact. The HOA had underestimated the heart of a farmer and the strength of a community. Justice wasn't just his trap, it was their victory. "Yendi,"